Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope everyone is good at home. Stay home, stay safe. Welcome to today's session. Shall we start our session? Yes, we'll start our session with a short story. There is a boy whose name Ramu. What he did with water tap? Usually when he brush his teeth, he open the tap till he complete the brushing of the teeth, and when he take the bath, he open the tap till the complete of his bath. So one day what happens? He went into room and he changed the clothes. He is very hurry. He is in hurry that he want to meet his friends and play in the ground. So when he is going to leave the home, father called, Ramu, you didn't turn off the tap. By the time Ramu went to restroom, his mother is mopping the floor. She saw Ramu very angrily. He said, sorry ma, and it is not enough. That's why Ramu's father asked Ramu to clean the car. So Ramu is in a hurry. Ramu want to wash the car by using the water pipe. When he is cleaning the car by using the water pipe, a friend came and called him. He left the pipe there itself and he got there and he met the friend and he is going on talking with the friend. It takes nearly 15 to 20 minutes. Meanwhile, the water is going from the water pipe into dry wave. Later again he came back, he completed the washing of the car and he went into the home. Later his father asked, Ramu, shall we go outside today? Yes, father. Then in the evening time when they are ready to leave the home, Ramu took the bath. While he is taking the bath, halfway of the bath, the water is not coming from the tap. He asked the reason for mother. Mother told that water in the tank is empty. He realized what happened. He felt very guilty and he took the bath with remaining whatever water left in the bucket. They started the journey outside. So while they are going on the way, there are few ladies carrying the water from a long distance. See Ramu, how they are carrying the water from long distance? Have you understood how much important the water? Again they started their walking. When they are moving again, he saw one uncle and see how the uncle is cleaning the car by using a little amount of water. See here they understood the importance of water. So later, still when they are moving, again they went on aunt. Aunt is watering the plants by using the water can. See how good job the auntie is doing. Later they went to beach. Father, this much amount of water is there. Why the people are worrying about the water shortage? Oh Ramu, like this. Then go to there and taste the water. Ramu went and drank it. So he felt it is very salty and he thought it is unfit for drinking. Then Ramu's father told him, though we have this much amount of water, whatever the water present on the earth is not fit for drinking. We have only very little amount of water. We have to use today, tomorrow, and we have to save for future generation also. So there Ramu played in the evening in the sand and swim in the water and they returned to home. Next day onwards, Ramu used the water very efficiently. He turned the tap only when it is in need. He understood the importance of water. He understood the shortage of water. So whatever the water left over in the bottle, he used to pour to plants. Similarly, he may prepare a canal from kitchen to flower bed, and he prepare a water can to plant the water. I think you understand the topic what I am saying. Yes, it is about water too little to waste. Not only that, how much amount of water is present in our earth. So today's our topic is water in our environment. So what is our topic? Water in our environment. So by the end of this session, you will understand, you will able to learn about water on earth, water cycle, states of water or forms of water, wastewater treatment, and in the last, measuring of water, and finally we will discuss conservation of water. So, these are the objectives we are going to discuss in today's topic. So, look at this slide. Have you seen the slide? What are there on the slide? Yes, they are the natural realms on the earth. So, our earth are made up of these four realms. What are they? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere. Here, lithosphere. It is a Greek word. We can divide this word into two letters, that is litho and sphere. It is a Greek word. The meaning of litho is rock or stone, and the meaning of sphere is nothing but a sphere or a ball. Means here this part of it is made up of rock or stone. Hydrosphere. Here we can also derive this word into two forms. Hydrous and sphere. The meaning of hydra in the Greek language is water. Similarly, atmosphere. Atmo means gas. Biosphere. Bio means life. By seeing these arrow marks, we understood that they are interlinked with each other. Means they are depend on each other. Okay. So, what are the resources of water? Let us see one more slide. Streams, rivers, lakes, sea, ocean. Not only this, rain and some amount of water will present in ground level as well as in the living organism. Am I right? So here is my question. So, we know that the earth formed some billions years ago. Do you know how much amount of water is there on our earth? Nearly 3/4 of our earth is made up of water. 3/4 of our earth is made up of water. But is the total water is useful for us? Is it useful for us? So, let us see. Though 3/4 of water is there, in that only, go for this slide. Have you seen the slide? Here 97.5% of water is in the form of salt, or it present in the oceans and sea. Salt. Just now in the story I told, salt water is not fit for drinking. So, what is the amount of fresh water? Only 2.5%. In the 2.5%, 79% of fresh water is in the form of snow or in the form of polar ice caps. That water anyway we can't drink. So, remaining water 20% is 20%. Out of the 20%, it is in the form of water in the rivers, lakes, streams, and some amount of water will present in the living organisms, some amount of water in the ground level. To understand this more, I will explain. See this water bottle. I think this 1 liter of bottle. Let us assume same 10 bottles are there. Same 10 bottles means how many liters of water? 10 liters of water. Out of this 10 liters of water, the pure water or the fresh water is only 1 ml. I think you understand how little the quantity of fresh water. This fresh water we have to use now, today, tomorrow, as well as our future generation. I think now we understood the importance of fresh water. Then what is fresh water? The water which is not salty and which is good for our body. Not only for our human beings, this fresh water should be used for all the microorganisms, plants and animals, whatever living in on our earth. So, what is my question means? So, just now I told some billions years ago this earth was formed. So, have you seen any time oceans, seas will dry up? No. Why it will not dry up then? What is the reason? Because, so before going to topic, I would like to ask a question. How many seasons are there? Mainly we have 4 seasons. What are they? Summer season, rainy season, winter season and spring season. Here is another question. Why summer season should be first and rainy should be next? Why not rainy first, summer next? Here lies the beauty of nature or the gift of God. What happens in the summer? So, in the summer we know the temperature will be more. That time what happen? The earth surface will warm up. When the earth surface will warm up, not only the total land surface, the water will also warm up. When the water will warm up, what happen? The water will changes into water vapor. The water will changes into water vapor. So, before slide you know that water on earth, you assume that there are solid, liquid. Not only that, there are another form of water, that is gases. So, just you see this slide. See, ice, it is in the form of solid, then water, liquid, water vapor, gas. Means water exists in how many states? 3 states: solid, liquid, gases. So, they can be interconvert into one form to other form. Please see this slide. Have you seen here? Solid, liquid and gas. See, have you seen the arrow marks? Here they are nothing but how they can transform, the process of changing one form to other form. When the solid is heated, the solid will changes into liquid. The solid will changes into liquid and the process is called melting. Similarly, if you heat the liquid will changes into gas and the process is called evaporation. Similarly, water will changes into liquid and the process is called condensation. Similarly, liquid will changes into solid and the process is called freezing. So, here we learn what is melting, what is freezing, what is evaporation and what is condensation. And there is another slide you have seen. The gas directly changes into solid or the solid directly changes into gas. When the solid changes into gas without undergoing the liquid state, the process is called sublimation. Similarly, when the gas changes into solid, the process is called deposition. But these two terms we can't see in the water. Means water cannot change directly from solid to gas or gas to solid. Compulsory it have to change from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. So, what is melting here? The process of changing solid into liquid or ice into water. The process is called melting. Similarly, the process of changing liquid into gas or water into water vapor is called evaporation. Here another term also there, that is boiling. There is a slight difference between evaporation and boiling. What is the slight difference? Evaporation is a natural phenomena. It can occur at any temperature, but boiling, compulsory each and every molecule of water molecule should attain 100 degree Celsius. Then only each and every water molecule will changes into water vapor. And evaporation is a natural phenomena and it is also a surface phenomena. So, what do you mean by surface phenomena? Let us assume here it is water. First, the water is present here, it will evaporate and then it will go for next layer. Whereas in the boiling, it is bulk phenomena. Means total water should reach 100 degrees Celsius, then only it will changes into water vapor. I think now we understood the convergence of states of water or forms of water, that is evaporation, condensation. If we understood, we can go for another slide, that is water cycle. Before that, just now I discussed from thousands of years onwards we are getting the rainfall. So, the water will move. There is a transformation of water from the ocean to land and from land to ocean and the process is called water cycle. It is occurring from billions of years onwards. Let us see the slide of water cycle. See the keywords here, what are there on the slide? Evaporation, condensation, precipitation, rain, groundwater, stream, ocean, river, like that. So, we are going to discuss what is about water cycle. First, what happens in the summer season? On warm day, so due to sun's heat, earth layer will be heated up. Not only land, water also heated up. So, whatever the water is there on the surface, the water will changes into water vapor by the process of evaporation. So all the water will changes into water vapor. As they changes into water vapor, what they happen? They will move into higher levels and they combine together to form as a clouds. Combine together to form as a clouds. So what happens in the clouds? As we go away from the surface of the earth, the temperature goes on decreases. So at the higher levels, temperature goes on decreases. When this water vapor combine together to form the clouds, there water vapor starts changes into water. What is the process? Condensation. What is the process? Condensation. Once the clouds are formed, clouds will not stay at that place. They will move from one place to other place with the help of winds. Means what happens? This wind brings these clouds from water bodies to land body surface. When all the clouds combine together, just now we discussed, in the clouds temperature goes on decreases. When the temperature goes on decreases, water vapor will changes into water. So the water droplet size goes on increases. So as the temperature goes on decreases, when we are getting thick clouds, the clouds appears to coming towards the earth, that is descend towards the earth. At this stage, the temperature goes on decreases, all the water molecules, water vapor changes into water droplets, and the clouds at this stage it is not enough to hold it, and it will fall in the form of a rain, that is called precipitation. I think you understand how we get the rain. So when rain comes, again it will fall on the land. Then on the land, again all the water collected together and form a small streams. From small streams, it will form a big streams. From there, they will add it to rivers, lakes. From there, they may add it to ocean. Similarly, some amount of water will sweep into the ground. Means they will be increased in the ground level water. Then, here is my question. So nowadays it is rainy season. I am getting one rhyme in my mind. Rain, rain, go away. Little Johnny wants to pay. Rain, rain, go away. But don't sing because it's necessary for us to fall rain. Am I right? So it's rainy season. Though we are getting the clouds. Am I right? We are getting the clouds, but we are not getting the rainfall. What is the reason? Because due to deforestation and the pollution what we created, though we are getting the clouds, this atmospheric condition will not allow the clouds to still decrease the temperature, so that whatever the water molecules are there, they will not get enough coolness, so it will not fall down as a rain. Suppose if there is no rain continuously for 5 to 6 years, then what happens? Can we survive? No. It is too difficult to live. We will not get any food production. There is no water to drink. Am I right or wrong? So what we call that situation? What we call? Here. It is droughts. See here how the land is. If you are not getting the rainfall, our land will be like this. Similarly, if you are getting huge rainfall, I think now this is the condition you can see in Assam, Bihar, floods. So what happened? All the city, all the villages in the water. Means if less rainfall or more rainfall, both are harmful to us. Am I right? Yes. Then, so now we understood the importance of water. Later, usually first the scientists thought that water is an element, but later on first scientist Henry Cavendish told that water is not an element. We can prepare the water by igniting by igniting hydrogen and oxygen. By igniting hydrogen and oxygen, we will get the water. Later, another scientist, Anthony Lavoisier, told that we can water is a compound. He told water is a compound and we can prepare the water by combining 2 volumes of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen, that is in the ratio 2:1. In your previous class, you learned about elements, compound, mixture. There you discussed what are elements, what are compounds and what are mixtures. What is element then? Element is not fluid form of atom. Compound? Compound is nothing but it is a combination of atoms. Atoms of same element or atoms of different elements. Here, water can be prepared by combining hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1. That's why water is a compound. The molecular formula, the chemical formula for water is H2O and the chemical name is dihydrogen monoxide. Dihydrogen monoxide. And atomic number of hydrogen is 1. Its atomic weight is also 1. Atomic number of oxygen is 8 and its atomic mass is 16. Here we can calculate the molecular mass. Molecular mass of water. That is, what is the formula? H2O. How many hydrogen atoms are there? 2. So, 2 into 1. 2 hydrogen plus 1 oxygen. So, 2 into 1 plus 1 into 16. 2 plus 16, that is equal to 18U. Its molecular mass is 18U. U is unified mass or you can write it as AMU, atomic mass unit. Then, if you want to write in the grams, it is called molar mass. That is 18 grams. That is 18 grams. So, just now we discussed water is a compound. Then how they combine? So, this you discussed in your chemical bonds. Chemical bonds. There are 2 types of bonds. Just we have a glance at that. You can take this class in your next coming sessions. About the chemical bond, there we will discuss. So, mainly how many types of bonds are there? 2 bonds. That is ionic bond and covalent bond. What is ionic bond? In ionic bond, one atom will loses the electron, another atom will get the electrons. Means there is a transfer of electrons from one atom to other atom. Such bond is called ionic bond. And next, what is covalent bond? Here, there is sharing of electrons among the atoms. Here what happens? They will share the electrons. So, when you take the water molecule, so first we will go hydrogen, its atomic number is 1, its electronic configuration is also 1. Oxygen atomic number is 8 and its electronic configuration is 2, 6, means in the last orbit it has 6 electrons. For our hydrogen it has only 1 electron. All the elements try to attain the stability either by losing the electrons or by gaining the electrons or by sharing the electrons. So, here hydrogen atomic number is 1. So, it has 1 electron. To attain the inert gas or to attain the stability, next one stability is helium. To attain the stability of helium, it need 1 more electron. Similarly, for oxygen, it also need how many electrons? 2 electrons. 2 electrons. So, this will combine and will get oxygen will give 1 electron. So, hydrogen will give 1 more electron, there will get 1 bond. So, how many bonds are there? 2 bonds. So, its covalency is 2. Its covalency is 2. So, once you see the structure of water molecule, so you can prepare like this if you know the valencies. So, you assume in the middle it is oxygen and these 2 red color balls is hydrogen. So, here the angle between these 2 hydrogens is 104.5 degrees and it is called bond angle. Bond angle. And if you see the distance between oxygen to hydrogen atom, the distance The distance between from hydrogen atom to oxygen, it is called bond length, and the length is 0.96 angstrom. Similarly, if you want to break, we need some energy. That energy is called bond energy. It is 460 kilojoules per mole. Later, we will go for another topic. Complete structure of water molecule, use of water. Once you see the slide, you can see the use of water. Not only this, we can use in the agriculture, we can use in the hydro generating electrical energy, all that. This much of water usage is there, but we are using our water uselessly. Next, go for another slide. Wastewater treatment. What is wastewater treatment? Before going that, first you see this picture, just you go for water pollution. Water pollution. So, we are polluting the water by our kitchen waste, industrial waste, agriculture waste and everything. So, before releasing this water into the rivers, what we have to do? We have to do the wastewater treatment. Means what we have to? We have to send this water into the, once you see the slide, there you can see bar screen. In the bar screen, we will remove the whole heavy particles like plastics, cans, and from there we will send to the second level, that is grid, and there we will allow to settle the water there. So, from there we will send in another tank, it is sloped at the bottom. So, that heavy dust particle will settle at the bottom, it is called sludge. We will remove the sludge and we will send into the another tank. And the above surface we have impurities, that is made up of oil and grease, and we can remove the skimmer. So, remaining water is clear and it is called clarified water. This water will send into the another tank. So, the sludge which we sent in another tank, here anaerobic bacteria will go. And what is anaerobic bacteria? Means the bacteria which will go in the absence of oxygen. It will decompose, it will eat all the dust particles, and then it will change into biogas. This biogas can be used as fuel or we can use it as electricity. Means here we have in the slide we are saying, sending it as solid disposal. In the clarified water, again what happen, will pump the air. So, their aerobic bacteria will go. Aerobic bacteria means the bacteria which will grow in the presence of oxygen. This bacteria will eat unwanted things in that, and it will clarify the water. From there, we will send into filter. There any microbes are there, it will filter out. Again, we will send into UV. This means here we send some UV light. So, any impurities, bacteria, microbes are there, it will kill, and the water will be 99% clear. Then we can release into the rivers. So, like this we have to do the wastewater treatment. So, conservation of water. Once you see the slide, so this is my idea about the conservation of water. You add your own idea how to conserve the water. Then last slide. So, how can we measure the volume of water? Usually we can measure the solids by weighing it, but water is liquid, it will not have any fixed shape, it will take the shape of the container. So, usually we will measure the volume of water. It may be starting with milliliters, liters, and if you store the water in the reservoirs or dam, we will always say the feet, and we will use our TMC, 1000 million cubic feet. Similarly, when we are releasing the water from the reservoirs, we will use it cusecs. Cusecs is nothing but cubic centimeter per second. In some places, they will carry the water in the tankers. On the tankers, you can see gallon. 1 gallon is nothing but 3.785 liters. 1 gallon is nothing but 3.785 liters. Here we will not use a gallon. Some other western countries will use the word gallon. Just we go for recap session. So, what we have learned? The natural elements on the earth, water on the earth, water cycle, structure of water molecule, use of water in our daily life, wastewater treatment, measuring the volume of water. Here is one project work. Children, you have to do this project work. Prepare a poster on conservation of water. Second one, state 3 major problems caused by water pollution to mankind and environment. I hope you understood the topic. Thank you one and all.